Hello and welcome to the series on self-love commandments. Today we are going to discuss the fifth one, be kind to your mind. My name is Dr. Evelyn Sequeira and I'm the founder of Sacred Lotus Womb Academy. And I'm here today to discuss this self-love commandment of being kind to your mind. Our mind is used for our intellect, for letting us live actually. And yet this mind is filled with thousands of thoughts, thousands, 50 to 60,000 thoughts. I don't know who counted them, but that's what they say. But to tell you, especially for some of us who come from dysfunctional homes, where we've grown up, in certain adverse conditions where maybe one of our parents was an addict or had mental ailments, or there was a lot of abuse happening, physical, mental, emotional, sexual even, or maybe there was neglect and a lot of abandoning happening. All of this would have left us with a mind or a body that is forever perceiving threat around us. So what it does is, this situation or this feeling of threat keeps bringing us to a space where our mind is in an overdrive. We are constantly thinking. We're thinking, oh my God, when is the next attack going to happen? I need to be aware. I need to be alert. And the thoughts keep running, racing. So many thoughts. And usually the thoughts are of dread, because that is what we have known, you see. So very gently now we have to help our mind to unlearn these thoughts of dread. It's not like they don't exist, but they are not like 80% of our life. Maybe there are about 70-30, those of dread maybe 30%. Like right now, many of us, we've gone through the pandemic of the coronavirus, and it has been real for many of us, and especially if there have been deaths in the family and you've gone through a bad phase, it is real. And yet, how to separate the knowing from when it is real and when it isn't real, and that we don't go into an overdrive. So a few thoughts on this self-love commandment for this week, so that you can truly be kind to your mind. I remember having, thoughts of even hatred, anger, aggression, and to a level that, I can even go and, do something really drastic. And yet it is your own mind. It is my mind. I cannot hate it. It is a part of me. Once I own that part of me, I can then work around it. So there's a wonderful teacher called Byron Katie, and she really teaches you, just using 4 questions, how one can handle thoughts of dread. So I remember, a time when I was totally worried whenever I had to go out, or I had to get into a relationship with somebody, or maybe make new friendships. I was very wary. I would always feel that the person is out there to, kind of cheat me, or so much of mistrust. Again, coming from that old childhood experience. So she says the first question to ask is, whenever there is a thought of dread, is it true? Ask this question. The answer could be yes, it could be no. If the answer is no, very good. Immediately it's not true. So you're in like full awareness. But if you feel it is true, the second question she asks is, can you absolutely know it is true? Like you're 100% sure. Most of the times we are not. So we are like, maybe hoga, pata nahi, maybe that person is really bad, or that situation is crazy. So she asks the third question then, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? So for example, if I believe that, now this pandemic is on the rise and हमको ये होने वाला है और सब गलत होने वाला है, what happens to you when you believe that thought? Don't feel good. I don't feel good. I feel threatened. I feel choked. I feel strangled. And who would you be then without that thought? Because it has not really happened to you. You're just thinking कि ये हो सकता है. Who would you be without the thought? Free, totally free. When it happens, we'll see. You know, our ancient sages would always say, जब वो ब्रिज आएगा, नदी आएगी, तब हम देखेंगे ना उसको कैसे क्रॉस करना है. उसके पहले ही उसका स्ट्रेस लेके क्यों अपने आप को इतना टेंशन देने का? Why to give yourself so much of stress? Not needed. And then she says, so turn the thought around. And maybe not in one way, maybe in 2 ways, in 3 ways, or in 4 ways. So do 2 or 3 options and see how it shifts for you. But sometimes when you're like in, it's like a whirlpool, these thoughts that don't make you feel good, they can suck you in. I got sucked in. Even now, after years of doing the practice, practicing meditation, practicing awareness, I tend to get sucked in. It's okay. And then you come back, and then you're kind to your mind. You're kind for having those dreadful thoughts. You're kind that you've had, you've got this overthinking mind. And from that space, you can make a difference and say, how can I change it? So I'll give you 3 tools today. One is you can maintain a gratitude journal. So giving blessings for all that you have. So in a day, maybe 5 things that you are grateful for, write them. It's good because that energy when you write, it kind of, goes into the book and says, yes, she or he is really grateful. वो लिख रहे. The second is you can use affirmations. These are positive statements. What it does is, when you speak positive affirmations, they are in the here and now. They are in present tense. And it not really takes away the negativity, but what you're doing is you're turning the thought around. You're saying, yes, I have the power to change this thought. Also, I want to give this with a little caveat that when you're feeling really down and low, and there is this whole sense of emotion and, kind of brewing inside you, don't try to turn it around and say, no, I'm feeling good now. When you're feeling sad and when that sadness is overwhelming, it's coming up for you, find a friend, find a therapist, and allow that to come out of you. Allow it to flow out of you. Express that. Because it's come there for a reason. When I say use positive affirmations, it's for those little, things. When, suppose I'm going to the market, oh, I think there's going to be a chore over there. So I'm safe. I'm always taken care of. And I'm going to be alert and take care of my purse. Things like that. But when you have emotions coming up for you, don't shove them under a carpet. Now that is spiritual bypassing. We have to be true to what we are feeling in our body and the sensations. And the third best tool is to chant. In all our religions, we have chanting. I am a Catholic. I was born in a Catholic family. So we used to say the rosary. Of course, we never liked to say every time I was saying the rosary, I was sleeping. But I realized, when you're chanting the same thing again and again, the mind is like, oh my God, after the Hail Mary, there's Holy Mary. Or after Holy Mary, after those 10 Hail Mary, Holy Marys, there is one Glory Be and then one Our Father again. So it's a rut. Then the mind just says, I'm just tired, let me go to sleep. So the mind stops thinking. We do japa with the jap mala, with beautiful Sanskrit chants or simple chants. Maybe the Gayatri mantra or any other mantra that you can pick up to do it 108 times. I have even seen, my Muslim sisters who have been chanting using their rosary beads. When I went to Turkey, I bought quite a few of them. They're a little less number of beads, but yes. So our ancestors understood something about chanting, and especially for us who have an overworking mind, these are some of the tools that you can use. So I'll take you now into a little meditation to give loving kindness to your own mind. So take a few deep breaths Just relax your body. And imagine your mind to be a person standing in front of you. Actually, maybe a little child, a little hyper jumpy child. Would you be angry with this child, or will you love this child? Call this little child towards you. Hold the child. Tell the child, I love you. I know you are afraid at times. I know there are too many things happening around you. But remember that I am with you. I am here to care for you. You are mine, and I am yours. Whenever I feel that we are under threat, I will gently do some lovely affirmations to take my body into a space of calm and relaxation. I will chant daily to rest the mind, so that you don't feel jumpy anymore. And then give gratitude for all the gifts that I have received. I love you, my mind. Sometimes you're naughty, sometimes you're brash, and sometimes you're very loving. I accept you in all your wholeness. And yet now on, we are a team. Let's make it work for us. Give a hug to this little child who is your mind. And if you feel the child is afraid, play some hatta katta mushtanda bouncers with her or him, and say that you're taking care of him or her. Listen to her, listen to him. And then very gently, when you feel ready, you can say goodbye and come back to present time. Thank you for doing the meditation. Have a wonderful day.